November 16th, 2019. MetLife Stadium was preparing to house 45,000 fans. However, those fans weren't coming to see the Jets or the Giants. They were there to play their part in the biggest Division III matchup of all time between the Ithaca Bombers and the Cortland Red Dragons in the 61st Cortica Jug. This historic rivalry dates all the way back to the 1930s when the two teams met for the first time. The stakes were raised in 1959 when their yearly matchup was recognized across the country as an annual showdown. Now it's considered the biggest little game in the nation. But before the two teams could duel it out on the football field for the right to hoist the jug, there was still an entire season to play. Entering his third year, head coach Dan Swanstrom had won 2 straight Cortica Jugs. After going 8-3 in 2018, the Bombers fell short of an NCAA appearance. With a number of returners on both sides of the ball, 2019 had the possibility of being a magical season. Leading the charge, senior captain wide receiver Will Gladney looked to break the record books even further in his senior campaign as he closed in on receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. A large factor in Gladney's success over the last 2 years stemmed from junior quarterback Wahid Nabi, a second-team All-Liberty League performer last season. One player who was not a part of the returning cast for the Bombers is former All-American quarterback Joe Germinario. After leading SUNY Brockport to 2 undefeated conference championships and the semifinals of the NCAA playoffs in 2017, he decided to use his last year of eligibility at Ithaca College under coach Dan Swanstrom. With preseason camp about to kick off, a quarterback battle was sitting on the horizon. The choices were the veteran star in Germinario or the consistent starter in Nabi. With the Bombers falling short of the NCAA tournament last season, Swanstrom knew the path to the playoffs was by winning the Liberty League title. With the addition of Germinario, a player with significant postseason experience, the goal shifted from winning the conference to making a deep playoff run. Going into preseason play, the Bombers, a team with significant experience back, got an unexpected boost late in the summer. All-American quarterback Joe Germinario was leaving Brockport and taking his talents to the South Hill. With Germinario, the main question surrounding the Bombers now was if this team had what it took to go the distance.
And I honestly didn't even know he was going to be coming to school really up until a few weeks before preseason started. I heard things here and there and rumors that could possibly be happening, but never knew if it was for sure or not until I saw him on campus.
When I heard they were bringing in Germinario, I was really surprised. Then I read more into Germinario and I realized they really needed to take his services when he offered them because he had an insane resume. He basically was a Division I talent playing at the Division III level.
I mean, this is a guy that, he went D1. He was on a D1 school. He redshirted his freshman year, didn't play, but he was good enough to make a D1 program. He's a 2-time East Player of the Year. I mean, the guy's just a winner.
I mean, Joe, just physically, just run, his ability to run and continue to extend plays and, arm strength was, something that stood out early, his ability to drive the ball down the field. And, so those things, he's a big guy, he's a physical guy, plays the game that way. It's just, that's kind of what stands out for him. He's also very hard worker, very intelligent football player. So.
And now, I'd like to bring up the quarterback question for Ithaca. That's been the talk of the South Hill so far. Joe Germanario transferring from Brockport, and of course Wahid Nabi, the starter last season and the season prior in 2017. Germanario, of course, the new man on campus. Nabi starting his freshman and sophomore year here. What does this quarterback competition do to the Ithaca offense?
Well, obviously, the quarterback competition is going to be very, very intense. That's been the story before the game a couple weeks ago. I believe that no matter what happens, Ithaca is still going to be in a pretty good position.
Germanario's talent was undeniable, but Wahid Nabi was still a 2-year starter. Many outside the team were unsure who was going to be under center come week 1.
Wahid Nabi, when he took over his freshman year, was fantastic. He basically set the school on fire. He threw 5 touchdowns, I think it was, in Corsica his freshman year. Like, to come out and do that is so impressive. He was taking over an offense that was kind of dead in the water, wasn't moving it at all. And he was so good. The problem with that is that his deep ball accuracy and the kind of decision-making sometimes escaped him. And, he set a pretty high bar because he's a very good quarterback. But you saw the dynamic kind of change on the team as soon as Joe Germanario came in.
Anytime that you get a player of that caliber, that some of the expectations do go up, just because you do want to succeed. And, with Joe, the years he was at Brockport, they were unbelievably good. They went, I think, to the semifinals one year and the quarterfinals the next. And I got to see him play one of those years when we went up to Brockport, and you could tell he was a special player and he was on a different level.
I always thought Wahid Nabi was a really good quarterback, personally. He really knew how to command that offense.
Even if Wahid was still our starting quarterback, I think that the team would have been still very successful on the offensive end.
No, it was open. They competed, and it was good. I mean, it was just great. I mean, I don't know if those guys felt it, but as a coach, you got 2 high-end football players trying to do their best.
After giving Germanario the nod, the Bombers were off and running.
There's a certain feel in the air when students come back to school and college football starts back up. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you football season is officially back. We're coming to you live from Latrobe, Pennsylvania at Chuck Noll Field, where the Ithaca College Bombers take on the St. Vincent Bearcats for the 2019 season opener.
Thanks, guys. The story throughout training camp was who would have the reins at quarterback for today's opener. Wahid Nabi, who got the start in last year's 38-14 win against the Bearcats, will be backing up transfer Joe Germanario.
If Germanario is coming in as a senior quarterback and is going to lead this team, he's going to have to step up on offense. He's going to have to be an example to the rest of the offense. Just keep it calm, collected, and go from there. Settle his feet, get things moving, and figure out the offense as he goes.
Show us what you got. Show us that guy that was there at Brockport. And I think we've all talked about the defense and that score. So it's okay. Don't get in your heads. St. Vincent, get this nice win on the road, and then come back for the bye week strong.
Bingo.
Bombers fans, that's what you've been waiting for. Joe Germanario ready to take his first snap with this Ithaca offense. Empty set for Germanario now. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Takes a snap, finds Andrew Vito on a swing screen. Vito to the middle. Vito cuts up the field. Vito's got Green in front of him, and touchdown, Andrew Vito. That's a way to start a season if you're the Bombers. The forced fumble on one side, the good play design on the other side, and Andrew Vito's got his first touchdown as the number 5. It's Christian Witchy punting from his own 20-yard line. And the Bombers will look to receive at around the 25-yard line. Witchy gets the ball blocked, and that's a touchdown for the Bombers. That's a blocked punt. The Bombers recover, clean block, no one got to him, and that's another 6 for the Bombers. Germanario takes a snap. Looking on the left side, looking Gladney all the way, throws it up for Gladney, makes the catch. Did he get his feet in bounds? Touchdown, Will Gladney. You couldn't draw it up much better than that. Will Gladney has just broken the program record for most touchdowns in a career. There's George Mack had 22, and now it's Will Gladney sitting all alone at number 1 with 23 on an incredible catch.
Germanario was still kind of overthrowing or underthrowing some guys like Gladney, like Vito, like Jacob Cooney, who we haven't called his name too much today. So there are going to be some growing pains for Germanario, but regardless, Swanstrom knows the type of talent he has to work with.
Germanario takes a snap, looking to pass, finds Gladney on the left-hand side on the flat, and Gladney will get into the end zone. His third touchdown, that's the hat trick for Gladney with 18 seconds to go. Number 3 on the day for Gladney. Number 5 for Germanario through the air. That one makes it 48-14.
That is quite the opening day performance for Will Gladney, Joe Germanario, and this whole Ithaca offense.
Walker looking to pass, taken down in the backfield, however. That is John Haddock. 2:25 to go in the third. Germanario now takes a snap, looking to pass, pressure coming. Germanario has to evade Mike Turner, still with the ball. Germanario, another evasion, throws this one now, looking in the end zone, caught in the end zone. Touchdown, James Jarvis. Joe Germanario, taking one out of the playbooks of Brady Walker, it looks like. Gets around 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders. A beautiful throw to James Jarvis, his first touchdown of the season. That's number 6 for Germanario. He's tying Nobby. First game as a Bomber, 55-21, Bombers lead. The Ithaca College Bombers dominate in their opener, 66-28 is their final score. They will leave St. Vincent with a win. Again, that's their 500th win of their program history.
Coach Swanstrom is always going to tell you his expectations of the program are higher than anybody else's. He expects the absolute best out of every single one of his players on the roster, from the Joe Germanarios and Will Gladneys to the guys at the very end of the roster filling out the bottom of the depth chart.
Living up to the hype, after 60 minutes of football, it was clear the All-American had arrived.
But he just came out lights out. I mean, I think he threw 5 touchdowns in their first game against St. Vincent. And he lived up to the hype of what they thought he would be. A game changer and someone that can elevate the offense to a whole new level. He was one of the best quarterbacks in D3 football.
He flourished. I mean, right away from game 1, he commanded that offense like Tom Brady would for the Patriots, or Aaron Rodgers does for the Packers currently. That's what it reminded me of exactly.
After thumping St. Vincent in game number 1, the Bombers had their first home matchup of 2019, facing off against the Alfred Saxons.
Are you ready for some South Hill football today?
I'm ready for a Saturday party. It's going to be a lot of fun, Tara, and I just cannot wait. It's good to have the Bombers back on the South Hill at Butterfield. It's going to be fun today.
Bombers taking on the Saxons here in a battle of 2 undefeated teams. Saxons 2-0 on the year, Bombers 1-0, and it's been a story of proficient offenses for both of these sides. Running game for Alfred has been very, very good. They're averaging over 250 yards a game. And for Ithaca, the passing game has been what they have really focused on, with over 300 passing yards in their first game from transfer quarterback Joe Germanario.
300 yards and 6 touchdowns in his Ithaca debut, tying the school record for passing touchdowns. Expectations are sky high for Joe Germanario this season.
My $1 million question today, who ya got?
Got to go with Ithaca. Offensive explosion. Got to love the performance they put on last week. I think they're going to do it again.
Now Germanario takes a snap. On first down, Germanario looking deep, finds Will Gladney in the middle. Will Gladney still on his feet.
Taken down at the 40-yard line, but a big pickup there. 30-yard gain for the Bombers.
Couple catches for Anderson, but no rushes. Here's Germanario on to the right side. Germanario trucking his way forward. Did he get in? Yes, he did.
6 points for the Bombers as Joe Germanario takes it in himself.
Makes it 9-3 Bombers. Low snap, picks it off the ground. Boston looking deep. Boston texting Robinson again.
And it looks like it's picked off by the Bombers. Gonna go the other way.
Yeah, clearly they read the scouting report, almost like a pitcher that gives up 2 runs, kind of keeping their team in it. Obviously, they're still within striking distance. It's only a 10-3 ball game for Joe Germinario, who last week was 27 for 37, 303 yards and 6 touchdowns. I think they were prepared for an attack in the air, and they've been able to respond to that well so far. I mean, like we mentioned, Germinario is very talented. This Ithaca offense has a lot of weapons. I do think at some point they're going to break through, but Alfred is going to do all they can to keep it close for as long as they can.
Welcome back into Bombers Live. I'm Brendan Miller alongside Jesse Chen. We've eaten. We're ready to go here for the second half of play. To DeHady, and he rumbles his way into the end zone.
Griffin going right to left. Now Boston takes a snap, looking to pass.
Looking deep, being pressured, and he will be sacked. That going to be John Haddock with the sack.
14 minutes to go in this final quarter. Bombers with a 20-3 lead, threatening for some more. 3rd and 2 on the 4-yard line. Germinario looking to Garcia, finds him. Did he get in the end zone on the screen? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Bombers. So that'll just about do it here from Jim Butterfield Stadium. Bombers come out strong in their home opener. Well balanced on the offensive end.
Ithaca College Bombers improve to 2-0. They stay unbeaten, beating the Alfred Saxons 27-9.
Ithaca finally seeing a decent comparison in terms of overall talent in their opponent. I think they went out there, like you said, on defense, made the adjustments, kind of dominated the whole game. There was never a time that I felt that Ithaca felt panicked in terms of the overall score of the game and the swing of momentum. So a convincing victory today for the Ithaca Bombers. Definitely answered a lot of questions that we had, especially after the bye week.
After being unranked to start the year, all it took was 2 commanding wins to vault the Bombers to prominence.
Clemson doesn't win a national championship being 4-0 or 5-0, you know, and that's not comparing us to them. But, like, if you're going to go sit there and be content over what you're at, you're not going to be focusing on what you're doing.
It's funny. I was very entrenched in Ithaca College football the past season. And believe me, I tried to ask him. I said, hey, Coach, you were ranked 9th in the nation or 7th in the nation. The last time you were ranked this high was 2006. But they were locked in. This was a team that knew that they could make some noise in the NCAAs and in all of D3. And, you know, they wanted to play better. I respected it.
Yeah, I didn't care. I don't care. I wanted to win every game, and I hate losing. And I know a lot of guys that agree with me in the same way.
If we're going to be what we want to be here as a program, the guys better get used to it, we better get used to it because those are the expectations. But honestly, I never think about it. I never notice it because you got 10 opportunities on the schedule, and what you do with those 10 opportunities are up to you. And what anybody else outside of it wants to decide and wants to talk about and put us here, put us there, it doesn't matter. You got a game every Saturday, and what you do with your opportunities, you know, we got to take this one at a time.
After 2 dominant wins to start the season, the Bombers began to receive recognition from all of Division III. Sitting at number 13 in the country, the Bombers faced their toughest test to date, former Empire 8 foe, St. John Fisher.
10 minutes to go, still 0-0. Bombers are 1st and 10 on their own 43-yard line. Germinario with the snap.
Germinario drops back, gonna look down the field. He's got Gladney, and it's caught. Gladney's got open field ahead of him. He's gonna head for the corner of the end zone, and he'll get in there. A touchdown, Will Gladney.
The Bombers struggling on offense early, but breaking it open with a long touchdown. Germinario faking the run, now going deep, looking for Gladney. He's got space, and touchdown, Will Gladney.
Wide open in the back of the end zone. Gladney's got his 2nd touchdown of the day.
You got to cover him a little closer than that. Now 2nd and 8, empty set for Germinario. He's got 3 receivers to the left. One of those is running back Kendall Anderson.
They're able to draw Fisher off, and the play will go. So a free play for Germinario. He's going to send it up deep to Gladney. And it's caught. Touchdown, Will Gladney, his 3rd of the game.
The Bombers get a free play. They throw it up to Gladney. If this one isn't on the Bombers, it's going to be his 3rd touchdown of the day. 37 out. It's a 47-yard field goal. The snap is there. The kick is up. Does he have enough leg? Yes, he does! Nick Bahamonde, Baja Blast himself, puts up 3 more for the Bombers to end the half, 38-13.
With the Bombers' superior play in the first half, the cakewalk towards 3-0 seemed inevitable. However, despite a 25-point deficit, the Cardinals would flip the script in the second half.
And we're back for the second half of play. The opening kickoff goes through the back of the end zone, as we have seen so many times from Bahamonde. And Fisher will start with the ball.
So now let's see what the freshman has up his sleeve on this drive. He's got 90 yards to go. Here's Walsh on first down passing. Looking deep. He's got Sizer breaking away, and Sizer makes the catch at the 30-yard line. At the 20, at the 10, Sizer is gone. Touchdown! St. John Fisher. Tashawn Sizer, 76-yard punt return last week, a 90-yard touchdown this week, 101 coverage, burns his man, just like that. Fisher down 12.
They're going to try to run the ball again here.
And they will. It's Prose. He hops over the top, and he's in the end zone. 6 points for St. John Fisher. And what a second half here from the Cardinals.
And just like that, it's 38-33 Bombers. Walsh up to 399 yards through the air. Now starting the offensive drive at the 32, and first play, he goes down. John Haddock once again on the sack, doing everything to keep the Bombers in this one. The snap is there. Germanario fakes the run, now throwing the other way, looking for Garcia, and intercepted in the end zone by Anthony Manna. This defense has to hold up for them if they want to move to 3-0. It's 1:11 to go. 3-point deficit for the Cardinals. They can send this one to overtime, or they can outright win it here. From his own 47, here's the snap on first down. Looking deep, led his way, and intercepted by Kyrie Brown. Second straight game with an interception by Brown. The hometown kid, he went to Ithaca High School, and now on Jim Butterfield Stadium making all the biggest plays. Interception Brown, Bombers with the ball.
And that's going to be the final knee of the game. So that will end it. The play clock will reset to more than the game clock. And this one going to be final. The two teams going to shake hands. 38-35 the final score. And Ithaca looked very good in the first, but not so good in the second.
After sneaking by St. John Fisher, the Bombers rose to number 10 in the nation going into game number 4. However, the 3-point win proved they had plenty of work to do, and the road ahead was no easy task.
One of the hardest things to do, especially in a football game, is play from ahead. Like, this was a defense that was riding high, and their offense came out and scored at 30-plus points in the first half, I believe. And then they came out and they got punched in the mouth in the second half.
Weird game, strange game. We played almost that first 28 minutes of the first half were, some of the best football we probably coached here. And then the next 32 minutes, not so much, right? So,
this is a defense that had to respond, and they did what they had to do in the second half.
We won. We're still moving down the correct path, and we had plenty to work on. And that's not a bad place to be.
With the Liberty League season starting the next week, the stakes were now raised. The margin for error? Slim. Conference play had arrived.